Hello everyone and welcome to FreeCAD tutorials. In this tutorial, we explain how to create pipes by using the Additive pipe tool in FreeCAD. Here's our pipe, and let me explain how this pipe is constructed. First of all, over here we define the sketch that defines the pipe path. Namely, the pipe will start from here, then it will go like this, go like this, go like this, and then here. Then we created a second sketch that defines the pipe cross section, and here it is. After defining the path and the pipe cross section, we use the Additive Path tool to create the pipe. Next, I will show you the pipe cross section. To do that, I will click on View, and over here I will click on Persistent Section Cut, and then I will cut it by using the X axis, and then if I move like this, you can see the pipe cross section. You can see how nicely pipe is created. This is really amazing, and it's really simple to create pipes in FreeCAD. So let's immediately start from scratch. Okay, let's start. Once you open FreeCAD, click on File and click on New. Then over here, click on Unnamed, then click on Part Design and click on Create Body. The first step is to create the path for our pipe. To do that, we will create a sketch. Click over here to create a sketch and click on XY plane. And then click on OK. Then let's turn on the grid. Click here. Then set the grid spacing to be 5. And then click over here to snap to grid and snap to objects. That is, select both of these options. And let's start with modeling. Next, let's start with modeling. Click here on the line and draw the line from this coordinate from -50 to +50 over here. And do the right click. Next, let's create a circle. To create a circle, you need to click here, then position the circle over here at 50-50 and draw the circle until here. And that's our circle. Next, let's do the following. Do the right click and let's draw another line. Click on this line. Let's click here. Let's draw the line until here and let's do the right click. Next, let's trim. To trim, select the trimming tool and trim this part. Actually, I made an error. You need to click here and this will trim only this half of the circle or half of the arc. And then do the right click and click on this line and erase line. Next, we need to create a circle over here. Again, we need to click on the circle, then click here, then draw the circle until here, do the right click, and let's draw a line that will be used to trim this circle. Let's click here, and then do the right click, and then click on the trimming tool to erase this part of the circle. Do Ctrl Z just to make sure that everything is properly trimmed. Do the right click and erase this line. And here we are. Here's our path. We will use this path to create our pipe. Let's click on close and let's go back. Now you can see the path in 3D. The next step is to create a cross section. Namely, the cross section will have to start from here. The next section is to create a cross section, and then later on we will slide this cross section along this path to create our pipe. However, to create this cross section, we need to construct an additional plane. This additional plane is called a datum plane. Let's do it. First of all, make sure that body is clicked, that is, make sure that sketch is not selected. Then over here, locate create a datum plane and click on this. And you will see the default datum plane. We need to reorient this datum plane such that this datum plane is perpendicular to this half circle and contains this point and this point. So let's do that. We actually need to define a datum or a construction plane that's perpendicular to this edge. So let's click on the edge and then let's click on this point over here, and you can see that the plane is automatically constructed plane by 3 points. You can also click on normal to the edge, however, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so here's our plane. And let's now click OK, and voila. Here is our construction plane. The next step is to create a sketch inside of this plane. So let's learn how to do that. To create a sketch inside of this plane, make sure that you select the datum plane and then over here click on Create Sketch. And let's see what's happening. First of all, rotate back this datum plane to see where we are. Good. We need to create a cross section over here and click on left again. The issue over here is that we cannot use this point inside of this sketch. This is because this point belongs to external geometry. To make the projection of this point onto our sketch such that we can use it, first of all click here and click on Vertex Selection. And then use this very useful tool called Create External Geometry. This tool will actually project external lines, vertices, and other objects onto our plane such that we can use it in our sketch. So click here and click on this point over here and voila, you can see that the point appears in our sketch. Do the right click and let's create a circle over here. However, it's still a good idea to rotate everything and to see that this point is indeed the point we want. It is. So let's click on left and let's continue. Okay. Next, click here on the circle, center the circle over here and specify the radius to be 30. And here is our circle. Do the right click, then again click here, click on this center point and specify this to be 20. And here we are. And do the right click and click on close. And now over here, if you go inside of the 3D view, you will see our cross section. Looks beautiful. The next step is to slide this cross section along this line, that is along this path, in order to create our pipe. So let's learn how to do that. Well, for that purpose, we need to use the Additive Pipe tool. How to use that tool? Well, first of all, you need to select the sketch, that is the base. And then after that, you need to click over here on Additive Pipe. And you will see several menus. Here under the object, we see our sketch 001. This is actually this cross section. And here comes the most important part. Over here, we need to specify the path to sweep along. In our case, this will be the path. Here you need to do the following. Click on Add Edge and add this edge, and you will immediately see the first section of the pipe. Then click again, Add Edge, and click over here. And stop here for a second, and let's analyze what happened. First of all, you can see that the object is sketch. That is, this tool automatically recognized that our path belongs to sketch, which is really good. And over here, we added two edges. Now I will show you one issue that FreeCAD has. Let's try to add this third edge. So click here and click over here, and you will see that nothing is being done. And this is an issue with FreeCAD. Sometimes you will have to repeat the whole procedure starting from scratch. So consequently, I need to remove this edge since it doesn't create the third part of the pipe. To do that, simply click on Remove Edge and you will see that this edge is purpled and click here. Now this edge is removed and click on OK. Okay, so we have created the first part of our pipe. Let's continue. Now, over here, click and activate this part and this part to see everything. What I will do right now, I will simply create a new sketch over here, and then I will simply use a tool again, starting from this cross section and using this line. So let's do that. It's not a big deal. So simply click on this face and assign sketch to this face. And then let's now draw two rectangles. We know that the cross section is 20 and 30. So let's do that. So let's click here and let's center it over here. And the first cross section is 20. Then do the right click and let's create another circle. Click here and the second cross section is 30. And do the right click and click on close. And now over here you can see that we have the third sketch. So let's click here, or actually we need to click on the particular sketch that we just created. This is very important. And then just repeat. Click on Additive Loft, No, actually you need to again click here to select this and click over here on additive pipe to correct myself. And then over here, simply click on add edge and let's add this edge. And finally, the third part of our pipe will be constructed. And let's click on OK and voila, here we are. Perfect. Let's now activate everything. And here's our pipe. Looks really, really nice. And finally, let's analyze the cross section. To analyze the cross section, click here on View, and over here you can find persistent section cut. So let's, for example, select an object, for example, this thing, and then let's do cutting X, and let's see what will happen. You will be able to see the cross section of this part, and you will actually be able to see the cross section of everything, which is really, really nice. And finally, let's now close this. Note when you close this, you will see still this part over here. So simply select here to make it invisible, and let's change the appearance. To change the appearance, simply click, for example, on the body, and then over here, you can select some random color. For example, if you like this type of color, you can use it, or a similar color. Okay, that's all for today. I hope that you like this video. If you like the videos I'm creating, please press the like and subscribe buttons, and see you in the next video tutorial. Also on my YouTube channel, you have more than 1000 free video tutorials covering different topics such as robotics, control engineering, machine learning, electrical engineering, and robotics. That's all, and see you soon.